Welcome back to Basement Dweller Tabletop. Today we're going to cover the last section of our running series of how to play 11th edition. We're going to cover the end of the turn. Sounds pretty simple, right? End of turn. Hey, it's over and the next guy goes. Well, it's a little bit more than that. So on your secondary objectives, primary objectives, each one has different rules. So you have to look at your cards or your, if you're not using the cards, your primary mission information, and you're going to look for that end of turn. So for example, we've got primary mission for Purge the Foe, Destroyer's Wrath. We got an end of turn. What's it say? One or more enemy units were destroyed this turn. You get 3 victory points. And you tally that up at the end of your turn. We got end of command phase. There's another end of turn. More enemy units were destroyed this turn than friendly units were destroyed in the previous turn. 4 victory points. So in the new edition, you've got to review your expectations, right? What does my mission want me to do? Did I blow up a whole bunch of tanks? Did I crump some Yumis? Did the Imperial Guard throw down some lead and blow up a whole bunch of vehicles and boys and get rid of their targets? And of course, each team has different objectives. So we mentioned before. So here we've got our Destroyer's Wrath for the Purge the Foe. Go over here. We've got our Vital Link for our vital assets. And each army is trying to accomplish their task. And when it's the end of your turn, you are going to review your requirements. Your opponent doesn't review their requirements. So you're only getting scores for your stuff on your turn. I haven't found any secondaries yet that say that you score on your enemy's turn. Normally it's your command phase, end of turn. There may be some beginning of turns, but I think it's mostly command phase and end of turn. Those are your targets. So end of turn is also a good opportunity to go through and see if you missed anything that you should have gotten during the turn. It's better to do it at the moment. Your command phase, hey, what did the battle look like? You haven't moved anything yet. Go through that stuff, check off your boxes. But if you've forgotten, end of turn is a good cleanup and bookkeeping step. Talking about bookkeeping, I would highly recommend with the new edition, there's so much going on. Units going around, everybody's got their special rules, everybody's got different weapons, everybody's got different objectives and secondary missions. All these things are kind of rolling together to add a lot of complexity. So I would find myself some good wound tokens that you can use. I don't know why this one's sitting out here by itself. So like this tank would be better if he's taking a point of damage. So I'm just going to drop that guy onto the tank so it's easier. Whenever I move my tank, that's going to go with him. If you set it down beside him, you could have an orphaned wound marker that nobody knows where it came from. I think it was a unit that was destroyed, so I think I'm okay. But then you have a lot of things like the WOG turn. All your units get bonuses. All your orc units get bonuses. So if you've got units that aren't orcs in your army, I'm not sure if the Gretchen have the orc keyword or not. But if they don't, then they wouldn't get the benefit of the WOG, which kind of makes sense. They're Gretchens. I mean, who thinks that Gretchen gets stronger and faster and better because his buddies are screaming and yelling? They're weedy gits. They run around, they steal stuff, and they team up on people. They're not true orcs. But we'll look into that and find out for sure. Again, you've got different bonuses that apply to different parts of your army. So I would recommend highly some tokens that you can place down next to your units. Hey, these guys are getting a +1 strength and +1 attacks because of the WOG. My Imperial Guard over there are getting a +1 ballistic skill because they've got the take aim activity, or excuse me, command in place. My guys back there, the ordnance batteries, are getting bonuses because they didn't move. They're heavy, so they get a +1 to their to hit roll. All these little bonuses, all these little pluses are easy to forget. So tokens and markers are a really great way to do that. And then again, I'm going to put that link again. I linked it early because it was a great website. I've seen it referenced in a couple of other pages, but there's a fantastic website that allows you to go through all the cards, kind of look at them, and decide who's got what mission, when you compare your, not distribution, what the heck is that? You got detachments and dispositions. So whatever your detachment is, it has its disposition. You do that comparison in the chart and see what mission you're playing. It's a lot to remember. It's a lot to keep track of. Also, unit cards are really, really valuable. There's some awesome online tools that you can scroll through and find your units. But I would recommend, Battle Scribe back in the day when it was still going, it had a fantastic ability to print out units. So you could have a unit sheet that had all the information on it. That was awesome. That was fantastic. Quick reference. You could easily go through. You're still going to want to get the codexes because you got lore and more depth and painting guides and all that stuff, but it gave you the opportunity to print out some quick reference sheets if you didn't have the cards, which weren't always available, right? Some of those sold out and they only had so many. So if you didn't get your unit cards, you could always go to Battle Scribe and print them out. If any of you guys know of good tools, please make comments. Show everybody where you're finding your tokens, where what apps you're using to track. The GW app it's okay. I'm not about to throw down a lot of money on that right now because I'd rather be buying models and painting models, buying paint and doing all the stuff, getting some better terrain, getting this cleaned up. Wow, that really looks blue in this. To my naked eye, that's really green. It's like a very seafoam green, but here it looks teal. Wow, that's really distinctive. Interesting. So I'm going to be working on improving my terrain and my little terrain areas, getting some better terrain areas. These guys are going to get painted and get some flocking on them so they're a little bit more interesting. So right now they're just squares, rectangles. They're distinctive. They stand out on the battlefield, which is great for gameplay. But for immersion, it's kind of, doesn't feel like I'm in a battlefield of the 41st millennium. Admittedly, I got a lot of trees for the 41st millennium. But somebody mentioned before, Agri World, or a Death World, or a Jungle World, all kinds of options with the new terrain rules. You can do industrial, you can do blown out cities, you can have your L-shaped ruins if you really like your L-shaped ruins. It's not going to stop you. But that's it for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. Feel free to like and subscribe. Um, just a fun hobby project for me. I'm working on armies. Got that Imperial Guard army mostly finished. They've got a handful of figures left to go, plinking off one at a time on those guys, knocking them out. And I'm trying to get some paint down on the rest of my orcs. Got a big mob of boys on the paint desk right now. Once I get those guys painted, I'll show them off. You guys can look and see my army progress. Hopefully, it'll encourage y'all and get your juices flowing, your paint juices flowing, where you guys want to get back to the table, paint some units. Let you alternate. You play some games, paint some armies. It's a fantastic hobby. I've enjoyed it for a long time, and I hope you do too. All right, have a great day.